so sick.
Yes.
That is awesome.
He's all,
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching GEEKCASTER, everything sci-fi, fantasy, and pop culture commentary. I'm Seven. We have Drew. We have Dayveonne, and we're gonna jump right in. So, Drew, let's start off with what you got going on there. What was that? What'd you get in the mail? I want to see what you got in the mail.
So yeah, I recently got. I'm a toy fanatic. I don't know if I told you guys this, but I'm quite keen on collecting like action figures, collectibles, import stuff like that. So this recent one that I got, I'm trying to find that. Yeah, D1 Studios. They just released this guy. I got him in the mail this weekend, and I haven't put him down. He's like certified hand candy, and you see that's this. Tough. He comes with dude.
Oh, that's fire.
There's a little magnet. You stick him right on the top. He's posable. Comes with all kinds of hands, interchangeable hands. He only has the one head sculpt, which is kind of a drag.
Okay.
But I dig it. He comes with this head. It's like, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's fire.
Also articulated. The mouth pops open. You can put it on top of him. Like you can rock it like it's an actual helm. It's sick. He reminds me, the art style of him reminds me of like the guys that do the art for the Gorillas.
That's what I was about to say. It's giving me gorilla vibes.
He looks like, if you look at his face, he looks like a freaking Gorillas character.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking, it would be so sick if D1 Studios, they did this little artwork here. If they got the license to make Gorillas figures, I swear to the gods, to the toy gods, an entire set of Gorillas action figures.
Wow.
Just a little bit of nerd stuff that I do and I'm savvy on. Low key, I'm kind of, without giving too much away, I want to make action figures, kind of like my thing. Mm-hmm. I write, but creating characters and then making them into something like this is kind of low key the dream. That's low key. Something to keep in mind. I may be trying to push for like an interview once we get around to that phase 7, but that's kind of the goal these days.
Well, this episode, it's going to be random different things and some headlines, reaction things. So one of them would be Eddie Murphy. He's 63, and he gave a lavish $8.6 million mansion, like one of his California mansions, to his daughter. Now, this is saying this is in pounds, so that means it's even more in U.S. money. His daughter, Bree, got married, and so he basically gave that away as part of the dowry. And I believe she married Martin Lawrence's son.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't even know we're doing dowries anymore.
Yeah, things still. People still do dowries. All right.
Yeah, people still do dowries. Nobody cares. I mean,
it's a thing. Well,
evidently it's a thing that people still do. Okay.
Okay.
Well, the reason why I'm so shocked just because, again, the whole, I wouldn't say women's lib, but what do you call it? Like the whole feminist movement and equals and all that stuff. I don't really keep up with it. I just treat people how you want to be treated. But with that whole thing, I figured dowries is like a no-no.
Depends on the upbringing and the customs, because not everybody, I think that's, to us, it's weird or not common, but others, it could be like tradition. So I'm not knocking it. It's what it is. If Eddie Murphy want to give one of his mansions to his daughter and his son-in-law, let him do. He got the money. Nobody, look, he's a millionaire. We're not.
Speak for yourself. But
no.
Drew and myself we're rich. That's why we're always doing shows like this, because we can afford to.
I get by. I make it work.
Exactly.
I will say that it's my little 2 pence, because at the end of the day, it's like marriage, dowry, whatever. But it's Eddie Murphy. It's what he wants to do with his family. I guess that's like their little, that's just their way. That's going to be their little way of getting down when it comes to how they pass on legacy and all that.
Right.
My own little tidbit, my little Drewism for that is I just always find it interesting what aspects of this old patriarchy stuff that people like to keep and what other parts they want to jettison or cut away from. It's like less of eschewing the old ideas, but taking the ones that benefit certain people and then kind of acting like the rest should be edited. So
I totally agree with you. This is how it is. It's kind of like.
But here's to round the idea off. I don't care. Y'all do what you want, but it is kind of interesting how that it's when it's something favorable, the patriarchy's fine. When it's something that requires someone to actually do something that's unpleasant or be at the same risk that a man has, now all of a sudden the system's corrupt and we live in a world of evil men. So that's just. Y'all deal with that. Marriage is nothing I give a crap about, but y'all deal with it as you will.
I finally agree. I'm not saying I finally agree with you. I always agree with you, but this actually, oh my God, you're right. Because I've been sitting here like, okay, everybody looks down on you because you choose to do certain things, not to do certain things like marriage. Because the options out here are so bad to the point where it's like, what's the point?
Well, okay. Because when you say the options are bad, that's going to take...
And then those are two different conversations, obviously. Those are two different things.
That can very easily branch off into a whole different conversation,
right.
But to stay on topic with it, people can do what they want with their money. If you want to get married, fine. If you want to pass something on to your kids, perfectly fine. That's what kind of, if someone in Eddie Murphy's position, he's like... He's got the ends. He's got the bread.
Right.
It'd be odd if we heard that he didn't take care of his kids. Everyone would be complaining if he had nothing set for his kids.
Well, this is true.
Right? He'd be a villain and a douche if he didn't have something set up for his daughter and son. And on the other hand, though, you got actors like Jackie Chan who says, I'm not giving my kids squat. They got to go out and make it on their own. Right. Which is, its own set of things that you could either applaud or have grievous with.
But also look at Jackie Chan's son specifically. I don't know how many children he has, but one of his sons, which he was very adamant, I'm not giving him anything. It's constantly getting in trouble, things with drugs. So you also have to know your kids, right? Everybody's kids.
Yeah, it might be the same kid. If the kid's going to be irresponsible, then I would see why you wouldn't want to gift them something like that for not, you don't want to reward bad behavior.
Right.
I get that.
Right. But I like your point, Drew. It's very interesting how certain things are just cherry picked. Oh, if it benefits me and my wallet, cool. Like, or even just socially. Oh, I want a gentleman to open the door. If you open the door for me and help me with my groceries, you are, i.e., a gentleman. But don't do this. The cherry picking of.
The cherry picking, but again, like I said, to the further editing of it, it's when he holds open a door, because this happened to me in my personal life. You hold open a door, and they don't react. You don't get a thank you.
Yeah,
it's expecting you to bow down and do an act of worship, but when you hold open a door for a woman, and the reaction is as you should, and then they just walk away. You then know, ladies, anyone watching this, you then don't get to be shocked when guys stop holding open doors for you. When they say screw you and just let you just kind of fumble through the aisles, it's like, be shocked. Where's the chivalry? It's like, dude, really? As Chappelle said, chivalry died because chicks killed it. Outright. Outright.
Well,
I get all that, but if the attitude to that is I want all the benefits of the patriarchy, but none of the backlash, I'm like, you're part of the problem. You're why guys kind of just say, screw this.
And I'll make a transition onto something else, but I'll just throw in a quick food for thought. The cherry picking not only goes into, I guess, the new mores of how men and women react to each other. Cherry picking in religions, cherry picking with political stances. Here's it's just very.
It's all
connected.
It's part of the thing. It's all the same thing. You can even say it's just all part of the same crop. People are going to taking that to political issues. People like the stances that their side has. They piss and moan about what the other side has, but then they don't want to check out there's hypocrisy. Everyone does this in every way. It's like, you know what? Let's round it down to this. It ain't even just a man and a woman thing. It's just a human condition thing. As I always say, it's a human condition thing. People always want to be able to cherry pick rules and then not really follow them or edit them as they see fit.
Do you think it's a timely thing of just this is where we are in pop culture, where it's almost socially acceptable to create an imaginary world for yourself. Like, I want to be called this, I want to be treated this way, I want these advantages, these things, they're not an advantage for me, so I'm going to be against it automatically, regardless how it might help or not help other people, because it's just about me, myself, and I. It seems like this is a cultural thing, global. It's like a movement.
So it's like a me, like you said, not a Me Too movement, but me, myself, and I movement.
Basically. Not even just a mentality, just this imaginary.
I'd say the overall mentality of like people, especially like the Western world, like people have definitely got more of a individualist. It's not this. People like to talk about community. This is really weird. Again, it falls into the line of hypocrisy. Everyone wants to applaud and cheer on this idea of community and groups, right? When COVID was a thing, right? Just to take it here really quick. When COVID was a thing, people were pissing and moaning that they couldn't go out in public spaces and be social. I'm like, why? Y'all want to go out, and when you see people out in the wild, I'm like, it's just at bars and stuff, they're complaining because the bars were all closed. I'm like, so y'all are mad that you can't go to bars, get belligerent drunk, not like each other, right? And try to like cherry pick among you, because that's what we do. Cherry pick among you those who you want to spend time with, and the rest of society who you don't even like.
Yeah, that's why.
That's the attitude.
That's why the divorce rate was high during the pandemic.
Yeah, they all thought that if people were sealed in their houses, that would get like we'd have like a population burst. I'm like, no, more people divorced more than anything else, because they had to be around each other for protracted amounts of time.
But there were a lot of new relationships that got sped up during that time, and a lot of COVID babies. I don't know if those relationships have lasted.
COVID babies, and they were still, contrary to what people would have you believe, folks are still out going and being social anyway. You still have folks that had all their freaky links, all their rosters and stuff for when they're like, they're bored. So they'd be going to each other's houses, other locations, spreading it around. That's why it got so like prominent. That's why it's COVID got as big as it did, because when they said, hey y'all, this is bad, y'all might want to stay home, most of us said screw that.
How many
y'all it's just like the flu.
How many of y'all got COVID?
I didn't, thankfully. Knock on wood. I didn't.
I think I got it before it was a thing.
What?
I think so, because I remember it was like before. I mean, we talked about COVID that spring of 2020, and I remember out of nowhere, I wasn't feeling well. Like in January, okay. I was looking for a place. I was looking to move. I visited this place that seemed to be. The owner just had beds and couches and just had like 80 people living in this one place, which was totally illegal. And I got a really bad flu. So I'm thinking I got it before, because it was like bad. Like it was like worse than ever before, but maybe it wasn't. I don't know.
I mean,
yeah.
You're still here regardless.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Like, I don't know. Wow. But yeah. But that's why people want to be social, but they don't want to like each other. Yeah. It's just a contradiction of folks, and they want to pick what aspects of community that they want to have and the others that they want to eschew.
Yeah.
Yo, I can't get with those people that just, I don't like you, but I want to socialize. Like, just tell the person you don't like them so they can move on and not tolerate you.
They can't get attention and free stuff out of you that way, Dayveonne.
So
I don't like you, but let's see what I can get out of you.
Be honest, so I can move on with my life.
Yeah, I don't like you, but buy me and all my my homies a drink. No, I'm cool. That's why I stay home. I'm good.
So, are you guys fans of X-Men? The X-Men film?
Yes.
So, the original X-Men cast is officially returning for Avengers Doomsday. Allegedly.
This movie, I heard about this. This movie is turning into the cameo film.
Right.
I haven't heard a single thing about the plot besides, hey guys, Robert Downey Jr. is going to be Dr. Doom. And then there's this huge cast list that just hasn't stopped. I'm like, is this going to be anything besides like a cameo movie and just spectacle? So
right.
I don't know.
I think it's too soon for for them to do this kind of Thanos kind of vibe, where you have all these characters, and it worked because of the build up, and I'm sure there was conflict of how much screen time to give each character and this and this and that. But for them to just kind of, I say be silent, because we've had Marvel films, but nothing of any relevance. We haven't had anything of any relevance really since Thanos. So for them to push this, and like you said, Drew, have all these cameos, it's either going to be really bad or just okay. You know, if they keep.
No, or it could be really good.
You really think it's possible?
Yeah, it's possible, because remember, look at Deadpool and Wolverine. Nobody expected. Nobody. Matter of fact, no, people did expect it to hit about $1 billion, and guess what? The movie hit $1 billion.
But you know what? Specifically with Deadpool, sometimes I think in my mind I treat it separate than an average Marvel film, because the character itself makes fun of comic books, makes fun of all the things going on, and it's a lot of fan service. So we expect it. We go in not taking it too serious. We expect him to have a lot of inside fan jokes. It's not a normal Marvel film, if that makes sense.
Deadpool, you're talking about Deadpool 3, right?
Right.
Yeah, Deadpool 3, it rounded off a good trilogy because it knew that, this is the toughest part of this 3-act thing. Right? So more than just focusing on like an intricate plot or any major reveals, they just kind of just went all out and gave it just it was a really fun epilogue, right? Where they bring back Wolverine, and it's like you have all these great cameos, but it's like it didn't really have a plot when you got down to it. Things kind of happen, sure, right? There's events that happen, but it's not like really aiming for like some big landing point when it came to the other two films.
If it had to stand alone, it wasn't a really good. It was an okay film. Like if you'd watched the others, right? You were digging it. You got the little references. You saw how they kind of rounded out and referenced other films. If you can, just as a film itself, it's just kind of Right.
If you watched it and just came like straight away and just saw this as a film, this was whatever. This movie was kind of nothing.
Right. And they did all the things that all the fans wanted to see, like the different Wolverines. It was all the things that people talked about over the last several years, and they gave the fans what they wanted to see.
Yeah, it's like a fan pleaser movie. It's plot-wise, it's roughly there. Right. Events happen, and then throughout the film, you get cool cameos and nods to other things that you get payoffs for if you watch the other films.
Right.
They can work. They're not. I'm not crapping on them. They can work. I think that with Disney and this next Avengers joint, they saw Deadpool 3, and were like, "Yo, if we could just make this a 3-hour cameo joint, have everybody come back." Right? We were bringing back Robert Downey Jr., but he's a completely different villain. It's his first time appearing in the franchise. Like, what are y'all really setting up with this? It's just what else can this possibly be besides just a longer, cameo joint?
Right.
But we'll see. I don't know.
We'll see.
I'm just real kind of about the MCU in general.
But
we'll see.
We'll stay on the same vibe of trilogies. Kill Bill 3. Allegedly, it's going to happen. It's supposed to take place 20 years after Volume 2, where Renata Green, her daughter, is looking for revenge against Beatrice Kiddo.
Yeah. It's about that. It's about that time, right? When did the other Kill Bill come out? You got the previous two.
If it was 20 years ago, this is 2025.
2025.
Well, it's supposed to take place 20 years from the story. I don't think it's not 20 years since the film.
It takes place after, but I think we're right on time for that.
Yes.
Kill Bill came out, I want to say, early 2000s, right?
Yeah.
And I'd heard way back when, it's like, Quentin Tarantino's plan is to let the actress grow up. He's going to wait exactly 15, 20 years until he goes and makes Volume 3 of Kill Bill. We were all kind of like, all right, that's a cool idea.
Right.
But we'll see if he actually does it. But no, kind of forgot, and now he's coming back with it. That could be cool.
Which I think, I'm not saying it's too late, but I think if that was the plan for the original, I mean from Dago, then I'm for it. But I'm kind of skeptical of how it's going to turn out because they got Zendaya playing the little girl.
Wait, so it's gonna again? It's Zendaya.
I was waiting for it.
Green.
Right.
Oh, come on! Again, this is just more of like Hollywood incest stuff. Nothing can be fresh. So now it's like, timeline-wise, it works, but it's with Zendaya. Okay.
And my thing is, you gotta
again,
train this girl how to use a sword. You gotta train her to know how to use martial arts. You got different variants of martial arts for this film. So, is it possible? Yes.
there's okay. What's her name? She's like a stunt chick. She also acts. She has an afro.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
You guys know this actress?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know her name, but it's
She's
like,
British.
I'm like, if you'd asked me, yo, Drew, cast Vernita Green, right? I'm like, okay, who's the chick that does the Bojutsu stuff on Instagram?
Right.
Can she act? I know she's been in at least one thing.
Yeah.
I can't speak on her Caesar if she can act or if she has chops or not.
Right.
But she does have the martial arts angle down.
There's a couple ladies on, you know, they kind of blew up on you know, doing sword stuff, and there's another one where she's basically taking everyone, like she's like really taking it serious, and now she's working towards her black belt. Yeah, I mean,
I'm looking more at it from like who has a blend of acting chops, but who would fit Tarantino's particular style, because she didn't have to be a pro, right? Tarantino's done more with a lot quirkier, a lot less in the way of like actors.
right.
Yeah.
But when it comes to someone who's a fresher face, who would fit the role, who could do has like the physicality of someone who could kick ass,
Right.
you know, I'm like,
They're out
look
there.
at someone who's look at a Power Ranger before Zendaya.
Right.
Look at someone who played a Power Ranger. I'm much more willing to look at someone with a martial arts background
Right.
who could actually maybe pull off the gravitas of being a killer.
There's
As opposed
tons.
to
There
Zendaya.
are tons of actresses out there that can do it. You just got to give them a shot.
Yeah, and we've said it before. This is nothing new, I guess, from us. We've said it before. Just
Right.
do an open casting call.
But that's the problem. Hollywood does not like to give people shots. They'd rather go overseas and hire somebody overseas than to focus on people in the U.S.
It's what I call the Hollywood circle jerk. It's going to be just the same people until at least until they fall out of social favor.
Right.
If a weird tape comes back, if someone's secret tape gets leaked, oh no, they've fallen out. We bring in the next one.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's just what it's always been.
Since
That's what
you
it's always going to be.
talked
But it's
about
a
falling
trend.
out of favor, go on, Dayveonne. Go to the Disney movie. Talk about your girl.
Ooh, girl, that ain't my girl. Sadly, she lives in my state, but
Snow White, the one that played Snow White.
yeah, Rachel Zegler.
Right.
You done done it now.
Why do
Now
people give her such a hard time, though? I mean, she's just. And I'm not saying this disrespectfully, but she's just an actress. Her job is acting. They pay her to play a role. Why do people get so emotional when she says a political thing or a social thing? She's not a socialist. She's not a social scientist. She's not a teacher.
It's just the stuff she says during interviews. Whoever's her publicist needs to get fired.
Oh, wait, what is she? Can you look that up really quick? What does she say that's so bad?
A lot of things. Like even with the one with the interview with her at the red carpet promoting the film.
Okay.
Talking about the movie and how they're gonna change some things and make the film women empowerment, and I'm like,
but did she?
Okay, I'm gonna add some clarity to this.
Yeah.
For me, when it comes to Rachel Zegler,
Mm-hmm.
I don't like her because in interviews she's just consistently obnoxious.
yes,
As an actor, when it comes to professional, but that's just my own personal bias. I just see her, I'm just like, oh god, this little smug smith right here. But then it's like when in interviews she disses the source material. The reason she has a job, she gets on an interview and then bad mouths where her job came from.
yeah.
For me, it's just very, very young actor, bratty. Why people are like, I always get on the idea of people want to put spotlights in front of just the worst aspects and appease the just narcissism of humanity. Okay, certain groups more than others, without me getting too far into it. But like when it comes to Rachel Ziegler, okay, you've been given an opportunity to pitch this film to the masses, right? It's fine if it's like this is going to be a different take on the classic, but that's all you got to say.
Hey.
It's a different take on it. We're doing something different with this one. You don't have to sit up there and bash your fellow cast members, because the guy who plays, I guess, the prince.
Yeah.
She made some really off joke where it's just like,
oh, he's a star. He's a star.
Whatever. That's Hollywood, baby. I'm like, you sound like a dick.
It's a bad representation, man. It's a bad representation of Jersey. Like, you are getting the opportunity to work for Disney for their lead role as Snow White. Not only that, this is an iconic animation film that's being brought into live action. And then you're gonna say certain things and badmouth the movie.
So hold on. Because I'm not really emotionally swayed either way. I'm just asking questions. Did she tell a lie? Because what I'm getting is she needs some media training and maybe to say things in a better way. But they did change some things, and she's just saying her opinion of how they changed it. It doesn't seem like she said anything that wasn't true. It's just that you didn't want to hear what she had to say. Is that it?
No.
I ain't with that one.
Okay.
I don't care that they change things, but it's the idea that you're effectively dumping on you're softcore dumping on your own project.
Okay.
Yes.
And I didn't even care that much. I only got irritated when she's then like softcore wishing that her fellow cast members like footage doesn't get put out there. That was my jump off was that when she was like talking about the guy that plays the prince. The prince is irrelevant. Like all of his scenes might get cut. That's Hollywood, baby. I'm like, you're kind of low key hoping that the dude doesn't get any credit for the work that he put in for his thing.
Exactly.
Now, if someone did that to a female actress or a different actor, people would have something to say about it. That's
right.
That's mean. That's unprofessional.
You know what's very interesting?
Off on that person's behalf.
Years ago,
so it's just, for me, that was the jump off.
Years ago, Miles Teller and Michael B. Jordan kind of said the same things. As far as they changed certain things, this is what's going on, and regardless, doesn't matter what we do, fans are gonna like it no matter what. They're gonna watch the movie no matter what. Both of them were very smug and had an air about it, but they didn't really get that backlash.
I don't know. That's not true. They both got backlash for it. Michael B. Jordan got backlash just for taking pictures with certain people who weren't the right color. When it comes to Miles Teller, Michael B. Jordan gets criticized all the time for just living, bro. And people want to be on here criticizing him, so they didn't just escape the boys' club, escape backlash. No, sir. Okay. When it came to Miles Teller, he's notoriously a dick. People don't like talking to Miles Teller because he's consistently smug and obnoxious, and always had this air of just haughtiness. So on both accounts, they've both been held accountable for that. So they didn't get away with it. Ziegler shouldn't either.
Okay. Shots fired. I got to give you a little explosion on that one, because I'm going to leave that right there.
That's all I'm going to say for that one, bro. They both.
I tried, Ziegler. I tried. Tried to stick up for you, but
I'm not saying nothing.
You tried to give back.
I'm not saying nothing about Michael B. Jordan. I'm just going to keep it at that.
Bro, he's consistently proven himself to be like just a good dude, right? At least from what I know. None of us know him in real life. I get that. But it's the idea that how he talks to people, when he interviews, you see a consistency. He's polite, right? He tends to keep keep it upbeat, even when it's someone who was like bashing him back in the day, because we all saw that.
We all saw that one, right?
Chick who knew him back in junior high. Oh, his little stupid headshots. He even handled that stylish burn back that he gave her. He even handled that classily. Okay, so when it comes to that, in the wake of him being criticized for just taking pictures with white women, we hate you, Michael B. Jordan. You should be canceled, right? And then
it's stupid to me because it's like, okay,
It's dumb. It's like he's been criticized for stuff that he didn't even really have like any heat in. He didn't really do anything wrong.
That's just like Please don't get me started.
Ziva will be all right. She'll probably still get some Disney projects, but it's like
no, not the way this is going because.